Coming up on this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, the manhunt continues for the suspect who killed conservative activist Charles Kirk. And we have the details on the FBI's person of interest.
And here's a look at what other stories we're covering in your neighborhood.
Missing equipment, thousands of dollars spent, and at the center of it all, this emergency district. I'm Adam Beam in Blunter, looking into the findings some call troubling.
I'm Suzanne Stevens. Grocery bills, energy, and now your utility bills. I'll show you why living in Corpus Christi just got a lot more expensive.
Good morning, folks. Happy Friday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. You're waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. It is Friday. What a week, man. I don't know about you guys, but it has been a very long week. So excited to have the weekend ahead of us, though. Making sure that it's all sunshine and rainbows is our own little ray of sunshine. Julia Quade, good morning.
Hey there, good morning, you guys. So yeah, we'll actually have a lot of sunshine coming in the forecast for us this weekend, but we need to get through our last day of seeing rainfall in the forecast today on our Friday before things start to dry on out because of where high pressure is going to be situated, shifting on over towards the east, allowing for more drier weather to start to push its way into the area. But before we go ahead and get into that, let's go ahead and focus on that traffic flow to get you out the door for your Friday morning commute. That's thankfully mostly dry across most neighborhoods. Heading on Ocean Drive onto SPID and on Saratoga, all three of those roadways are looking to be pretty clear right now. Of course, associated with those shades of green, letting you know that you got some fast traffic flow, thankfully. Hang on over now towards Flower Bluff. Slightly different story. Once you head on towards Waldron Road, heading in one direction, you may be greeted with a little bit of medium to slow speed, so just make sure you're aware of that. And same thing once you get a little bit closer towards the gate, NAS Corpus Christi, more of that medium and slow speed that you can probably anticipate to encounter there with some more traffic flow and heavier congestion heading over in that direction. And taking a last look onto the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island this morning, looking at nice and easy, smooth roadways to start you out for your Friday morning commute. That's it for your Traport. More details of your forecast coming up.
A manhunt is still underway for the shooter who killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk at an event in Utah Wednesday. The FBI and Utah Public Safety released photos of a person of interest who has been described as appearing to be of college age. The FBI also released video of the shooter running away from the scene. Authorities have recovered the firearm they believe was used in the shooting in a nearby wooded area. A footprint was already recovered. The FBI office is asking the public to submit any tips by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Well, House GOP leaders are preparing to vote next week on a stopgap spending bill. GOP leaders want to keep the government open through November 20th. The White House is actually pushing for a longer extension into January. The September 30th deadline is complicated, too, by a House recess for the Jewish holidays, rather. It leaves little time to avoid a shutdown. Well, a plane carrying more than 300 South Korean workers detained in the U.S. is landing in South Korea today. The detainees released by the U.S. were mostly Korean, but also included 10 Chinese nationals, 3 Japanese nationals, and 1 Indonesian national. The workers are from last week's immigration raid at a Hyundai battery factory in Georgia. South Korea's president is calling on the White House to improve the United States visa system.
Here in your neighborhood, a chain reaction accident on the city's west side left 3 vehicles heavily damaged and sent a woman to the hospital. It happened just before 10:30 Thursday morning. Police say a red pickup was headed west on the 2400 block of Ruth when the driver went into the opposite lane. The driver of a black truck swerved to avoid crashing, but the 2 trucks collided anyway. The red truck then hit another vehicle parked on the side of the road, and that's when the woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital and is in serious condition.
Humvees, ATVs, engines, and more. These are purchases made by Nueces County Emergency District 4. I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Adam Beam, looking at those purchases at the center of a new forensic audit.
The independent audit examined the district's purchases over a 4-year period, finding multiple violations of federal rules and significant gaps in oversight and asset management. The audit also found multiple pieces of equipment, including engines and refrigeration units, are nowhere to be found. While purchases of items like four-wheelers and ATVs were done so without current officials having any knowledge of such transactions.
We want to make sure that moving forward that we are doing everything that the community entrust us to do, and that's provide services to their district and to handle their funding appropriately.
We raised wastewater today. We raised water rates today. There were so many things raised. We are nickel and diming them to death.
The cost to live in Corpus Christi is going up. Here's what it means to your wallet. Water rates are going up by nearly $5 a month. Wastewater up more than $4. And county property taxes are climbing by 7.5%. For an average household, that's about $9 more a month in utility bills and close to $250 more a year once you factor in higher city and county property taxes.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Friday. So waking up today, conditions are going to begin to change as we get a little bit closer towards that weekend. We'll see that drier air is going to begin to enter our forecast later on this afternoon, heading towards this evening. That's going to take away our rain chances, leading towards more drier weather and more sunshine ahead for us this weekend. But waking up today, still got some rain chances, still got that moisture and humidity at play. So it's going to add towards why our temperatures are still going to be on the warm side this morning, as most of us will be sitting towards those upper 70s to lower 80s right now as we wake up and get our day started. Now, we're also going to see that our dew point values will somewhat follow suit, still reaching into those 70s and that depressive zones. That's going to lead towards why conditions are going to be feeling warmer for us this morning across most of our neighborhoods. Also, we still got those winds coming in from an easterly or southeasterly direction, as they're all going to be clocking nearby 10 miles an hour across most of our neighborhoods. Now, like I mentioned just a moment ago, dew point values are going to be well into those 70s across most of our neighborhoods here, even including more inland and northern neighborhoods like Beeville and over in Orange Grove. Of course, I mentioned maybe a few days ago that those areas were mostly sitting towards slightly cooler dew point values, and that led to more of a cooler, drier weather pattern in terms of things feeling more comfortable heading out the door, getting your early morning started. Now, all of us across the coastal bend sitting into those 70s in that oppressive zone for our dew point values. That lets us know that we got a lot of moisture still in place to help us out with our rain chances that are going to continue for us this morning. Now, our rain shower activity right now isn't too impressive. Just got a couple stray streamers here making their way across our coastal waters, pushing their way throughout eastern portions of Nueces and Clayburgh and San Patricio counties right now. Nothing truly impressive with this rainfall just quite yet, but we are anticipating throughout the morning hours we can maybe see anywhere between scattered and even widespread shower activity, especially for areas that are along the coast. Northern and inland neighborhoods can expect their own fair share of some shower activity, but nothing to compare to maybe what our coastal neighborhoods will see throughout the morning. And then our rain chances start to decrease as we head towards the afternoon to early evening hours. That's going to be along the time frame as that drier air starts to push its way into the coastal bend, taking away our rain chances. We'll also continue with that trend of our temperatures still making its way near average, only reaching around 93 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Still see some sunshine as well, but again, dry air is going to take away our rain chances, leading towards a dry and really comfortable afternoon as we look ahead towards your upcoming weekend. Temperatures still trending near average. That's going to continue throughout beyond the weekend, even heading to the early part of next week. Our rain chances will be set to return for us early next week as well as we head towards your Tuesday and Wednesday.
Well, the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is raising security concerns for lawmakers in D.C. Coming up after the break, Scripps News Group's Nathaniel Reed joins us with the very latest. Welcome back, folks. 6:12 on your Friday morning. We're taking a live look from our SPID Skycam. Traffic flowing pretty nicely. Going to check in on the rest of the roads, plus the weather with meteorologist Julie Equating in just a bit. But first, we'll head to Washington. So the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is up safety concerns amongst lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, to talk more about this, we bring in Scripps News Group Nathaniel Reed. Good morning, Nate. So multiple House and Senate lawmakers are now taking new precautions in how they conduct their public appearances. How much security do lawmakers have? And is there a chance the extra security might burden taxpayers?
Yeah, look, Brian and Michelle, with the exception of congressional leadership, the vast majority of members of the House of Representatives and the Senate really don't have security. When they travel outside of Washington, D.C., they're either left to coordinate on their own with local law enforcement or state police. But for the most part, many of them don't have protection, and that could possibly change. There are talks right now in the U.S. Senate, at least, to try and provide all 100 senators with protection. And a lot of these concerns because of this latest situation, the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. It's not only Republicans who tell me that they're now concerned about holding public events and for their own safety, but Democrats too, who say that they're really worried about the possibility of political violence. Already you've got Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill who are making changes to their plans to campaign, to go out and meet with constituents. What this leads to, Brian and Michelle, just less accessibility for the lawmakers that we elect to represent us in Congress, but that less ability to interact with them, certainly because of their concerns about ongoing security. Now, there is discussion on Capitol Hill. There was discussion underway, I might add, about providing individual senators security details when they're not in Washington. Those conversations this week, according to senior appropriators, have only ramped up. Here's Senator Markwayne Mullin, the chairman of a Senate Appropriations Subcommittee that deals with this.
The situation we find ourselves in, I think it's undeniable now that we've got to beef up security on every member. Different people have different threat levels. Those different threat levels may require a different stance, maybe a different look for their details. So it's not one size fits all. We're going to have to be fluid and be able to flex when we need to flex, and be able to dial it down when we need to dial it down.
And again, I'm glad that you brought this up because the cost could be astronomical. It depends on whether this is kind of more an exercise in coordination with local law enforcement or whether Capitol Police would expand in ranks to provide security to every single member of Congress. But for many members of Congress, they have serious concerns. Democrats or Republicans, they're really worried about the possibility of political violence. Many Republicans on Capitol Hill were extremely close with Charlie Kirk and are closely, watching, a lot of this violence and mourning his passing.
Well, Nate, thank you so much for the extra insight. We appreciate your time today.
Yeah, as always, great seeing you, sir. Have yourself a fantastic weekend.
Hey there, good morning, and happy Friday. So for us today, we'll continue to see some rain chances in the forecast, and that's going to be tied towards our moisture. Still going to be at those higher levels, as you can see indicated behind me by our current dew point values. All for us across the coastal bend sitting well into those 70s. So of course, that means that oppressive zone for our current dew point values today. So we have a lot of moisture still at play in the area. That's only going to add towards how temperatures feel to our bodies heading out the door early this morning. And of course, like I mentioned, is going to be tied towards our rain chances that continue in the forecast today as well. All of us right now waking up mostly sitting towards the mid to upper 70s or even the lower 80s for areas that are along the coast. Corpus Christi waking up to a temperature of 76 degrees. Robstown matching at that too. 75 right now waking up in Kingsville, lower 80s over in Rockport and Ingleside, and upper 70s in Port Aransas and over in the Bluff at NES Corpus Christi right now waking up to get your Friday morning started. Take a look at Doppler radar. Like I mentioned, all this moisture in place adds towards our rain chances that continue to be in the forecast. Now, right now, we're not looking at anything truly impressive, just a couple stray showers that made their way across the coastal waters, pushing their way throughout portions of coastal San Patricio, Nueces, and Claiborne counties. So again, nothing impressive at the moment for now, but those showers are expected to ramp up, at least they're forecasted to, as we head towards the later hours this morning, especially for areas that are along the coast. Like I mentioned, that's why we're seeing that stray showers right now passing on through coastal Nueces, San Patricio, and Claiborne counties. Not much of that shower activity is forecasted to make its way for inland and northern neighborhoods, but you guys should see a fair share of your own stray shower activity over the course of the day. But all of our rain chances are set to decrease as we head towards the early afternoon to evening hours. That's going to be tied towards high pressure starting to shift its way further east, covering most of us here in South Texas. Of course, that's going to reinforce drier air, taking away our rain chances thereafter. But overall, taking a look at our forecast today, expecting a forecast high temperature, still near average into the lower 90s, 93 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Still expecting to see some sunshine and some scattered tea showers, especially for areas that are going to be, again, along the coast for us today. But looking at our upper level weather pattern, like I mentioned, high pressure is going to begin to shift its way further over towards the east, really covering us more here in the coastal bend in South Texas at large. And that's what's going to take away our rain chances thereafter as drier air is going to begin to take over our area. But waking up this morning, we can see a couple shades of green here, indicating that we still have moisture in place for now. But as high pressure throughout the day today begins to make its shift more eastward, we can see twinges of yellow starting to enter northern parts of South Texas. Memphis, and then, of course, all across South Texas and us here in the Coastal Belt will be included in that later on today and as we look ahead towards this upcoming weekend. So rain chances are not going to be expected to continue at least towards the weekend until they come back, looking towards early next week, beginning potentially late on Monday, carrying on over towards your Tuesday and Wednesday with better stray to isolated rain chances returning at that time frame. But for now, shower activity that will continue for us on our Friday throughout the morning before they start to taper off as we head towards the afternoon. It's going to lead towards that drier weather pattern with more sunshine. Temperatures still maintaining into those lower 90s though. And don't worry, more rain chances will be back in the forecast for us early next week.
So everybody's trying to save money nowadays. Well, I'm going to help you out, at least at the gas pump. I'm going to have the cheapest prices around the Coastal Bend when we come back. All right, folks, I get it. Prices are going up on everything. We're all trying to save that extra few cents here and there that could definitely add up. Speaking of adding up, though, those gas prices, right? Every time you fill up and you spend an extra 50 cents, it definitely stacks up. Let's see if we can save you some money, though. Taking a look at the national prices to start out, $3.17 according to Gas Buddy. That's up by just 1 cent since Monday. Not too bad. Texas went up by a little bit more, $2.81 rather, as the average, up by 6 cents since Monday. Here in Corpus Christi, we're doing it a little bit cheaper, although those prices have gone up a bit. $2.62 for this cheapest at the Murphy USA on Flower Bluff Drive. That's right there next to the Walmart. As for our Portland friends, prices are a bit cheaper there too. It might be worthwhile taking a drive over the bridge because $2.59 at most of the stations out there in Portland, although watch out for a few stations that are closer to that $2.90 range, especially right when you drive into Portland from Corpus Christi. And on to our island friends, the cheapest price is $2.73, a little bit more expensive, and that's ironically at most places in Port A, although some are priced closer to $3, so watch out for that one. As always, if you can find cheaper prices than these guys, because they do tend to change throughout the day, it might be worth stopping and filling up while you can.
Alrighty, good morning. I'm taking a live look outside from our first Community Bank Sky Cam atop the USS Lexington. We can see that traffic flow heading on the New Harbor Bridge going to and from the Portland area. It's looking to be pretty good right now. Of course, you can maybe anticipate to see a couple more of your neighbors right now as we are well into the 6 o'clock hour, so most folks are out and about getting their Friday morning commute on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of traffic flow maps we can expect on other roadways throughout the area. Starting on the other side of town here onto the JFK Causeway going to and from the island, you can expect some nice and easy traffic flow right now, thankfully. Heading on over now towards Flower Bluff, slightly different story. Heading on Waldron Road, you can expect a bit of a mixture of medium and slow speeds heading in both directions there. All clear though heading on towards the Flower Bluff Drive, and just a little bit of medium speed going to and from the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Jumping on quickly towards downtown, heading on Ocean Drive down to SPID and on Saratoga. All three of those roadways moving well for you early this morning, making for a nice and smooth traffic commute this morning too. That's it for your traffic report. We'll do some forecast coming up.
Every parent wants what's best for their child, including quality education. I'm Michaela Chavez, and I'll tell you about a program that could help families afford it.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Hey there, good morning, welcome back. Taking a live look outside now from our Stubbe Spear Sky Cam, sponsored by CCAC. You can see it in our clouds right now. We got them out there along in our skies really early this morning. Not much of that sunrise happening just quite yet. It'll happen, of course, in the next few more minutes. Now, in terms of our rain chances, those are going to stick around for us at least early today on our Friday. Rain chances will start to slowly wean their way on off out of our area as dry air starts to replace that moisture that's currently in place. So it's going to mean for this weekend, we have drier weather to look forward to and lots of sunshine on the way. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look at Doppler radar. We can see a couple of those stray showers slowly meandering their way across our coastal waters, pushing their way into coastal Nueces, Clayburgh, and San Patricio counties there nearby the Portland area, seeing a little bit of a small shower patch passing on through that neighborhood at the moment. Now, our rainfall amounts right now are not looking very impressive. They should ramp up ever so slightly as we head towards the later hours this morning and a little bit towards the afternoon. But like I mentioned, we got plenty of moisture in place to support our rainfall chances chances today as well. Of us across the coastal bend is going to be in that oppressive zone, and of course sitting that into those 70s for our current dew point values, meaning that we got a lot of moisture still at play in our forecast. That's also going to lead towards our temperatures being on the trend of slightly warmer compared to the past few days, especially for more inland and northern neighborhoods. As you guys towards the start or middle of your work week, you guys saw your temperatures mostly sitting towards those mid to even upper 60s. So now all of us are well into the 70s because that moisture that's really kicked up a notch, adding towards our rain chances are still in the forecast. Looking at our hour-by-hour forecast, like I mentioned, rain chances will still be present all throughout the morning and heading towards the early afternoon. That's going to cause a bit of a struggle with our temperatures slowly increasing, only reaching towards the lower 80s by around 11 o'clock this morning and heading towards around lunchtime, only approaching those mid to upper 80s. So a bit of a slower start with the increase of our temperatures over the next few hours, but things will start to clear on out. You see that sunshine coming on through, heading towards the afternoon to early evening hours. That's around the time frame that we are going to be expecting that drier air to start to push its way into the coastal bend, taking away our rain chances, leading towards more sunshine and again, drier conditions and no more rain in the forecast as we start to head towards our upcoming weekend. Overall, though, we're still going to continue with that trend of temperatures mostly sitting near average into those lower 90s. So we'll have a high temperature of 93 degrees here in Corpus Christi. And again, still a chance to see some scattered showers and potentially some thunderstorm activity early this morning towards throughout portions of this afternoon before our rain chances start to taper off as we head towards around the 3, 4, and 5 o'clock hour. And that's when our rain chances are going to be pretty slim to none as that drier air begins to take on over. Take a look at Moisture Tracker where you can see the time frame of how I mentioned how we expect this to happen. Right now, see that green in the map, so moisture is still present, adding towards our showers are right now happening throughout some neighborhoods. But once that starts to see of that more of that yellow color coming into the map, of course, that's going to be that dry air starting to take over our forecast across South Texas for us here. And that's again going to be tied towards high pressure, making a bit of a shift towards the east, taking over our area here. And that's going to lead and support more of that sunshine that we expect to see in our forecast for us this upcoming weekend and taking away our rain chances thereafter as well. Now, of course, I think we all can appreciate a nice dry weekend for any weekend plans, but we still need beneficial rainfall in the forecast, and thankfully rain chances will be coming back early next week.
Sounds good, Julia. Thank you so much. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you're in luck because coming up on Sunrise, we have a look at what's going on around town in this week's Coastal Bend Weekend.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Morning Team. My name is Rochelle Garcia, and I work at the USS Lexington Museum. I just want to wish all my neighbors in the Coastal Bend a wonderful morning.
And you know, this is our favorite way to start the day, hearing from our neighbors like the ones at the USS Lexington Museum. We want to say good morning to you guys over there. We hope you guys have a wonderful day as well. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video, make our day, scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website, christv.com.
Now, the local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans.
Oh man, that music really gets me in the mood for the weekend, because this Coastal Bend Weekend is your chance to grow your experiences, literally and figuratively, of course. There are plenty of places to plant yourself around the neighborhood, so let's dig on in to what's happening. Can you catch my drift?
Yeah, you'll get it in just a bit. But let's start in the Bay Area with an event that'll really rake in the fun and help make your house feel more like home.
All weekend long, you can head on to the Corpus Christi Home and Garden Show over at the American Bank Center or the Hillard Center, where home improvement takes root.
You'll get a chance to browse the latest products and services and meet the experts who can help you nip those renovation worries in the bud.
There's shopping, entertainment, special guest seminars, and giveaways that'll have you feel right at home. Admission is free, and the full schedule is just a click away on our website.
And while you're building your dream home, how about building something a little more colorful too, like Legos? The Corpus Christi Lego Club is stacking up for a meeting this Saturday at the Garcia Library from noon to 1 p.m.
Show off your masterpieces, be inspired by others, and build connections, one brick at a time.
Over on the city's west side, there's a chance for kids and parents to get crafty together. The Garcia Arts and Education Center is hosting a free family art workshop this Sunday.
It's geared for kids 5 to 15, but there's still something for everyone. It all starts at 1 p.m. with hands-on fun. That includes painting, ceramic clay work, and even a potter's wheel for teens to spin in action. Pre-registration is required, though, and we posted that link on our website.
And finally, if you're ready to strut into the weekend, don't miss the Cultura Couture Fashion Show. This event is more than just a style statement. It's a celebration of culture, empowerment, and community.
So go ahead and slay, Queen, for a cause, that is. All the proceeds benefit the Hispanic Women's Network of Texas Corpus Christi chapter and its Latinas in Progress Scholarship Program.
It's at 6181 Saratoga Boulevard. VIP ticket holders get in at 11:30. General admission is at 12:30.
Did you guys get the puns now? Yeah, pretty awesome. She wrote that, actually.
Oh, my
Super proud of that. She didn't used to be punny. Anyway, as always, for more information on all the events we mentioned, some we did not have time for because there are a lot, they're all happening in your neighborhood. And you can go to KrisTV.com for more on that.
Yeah, of course. And if you want to see your event featured on a future Coastal Bend Weekend segment, make sure you send us a message.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Friday. Made it to the end of our work week, and with the weekend coming up, we'll see some changes in our forecast with drier air already entering our forecast later on today, and it's going to carry on over towards this weekend, meaning more sunshine on the way in our forecast. But for today, this morning, or at least for the first half of our Friday, we'll see a continuation of moisture still in place, leading towards our rain chances that'll stick around at least during the early morning to early afternoon hours. Can expect anywhere between some stray to isolated to even scattered showers, especially for areas that are along the coast. Temperatures are going to struggle to increase, at least for areas that are closer towards those rain chances. So things will kind of slowly warm up, only reaching towards those upper 80s by 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock this afternoon. So then by that same time frame, we'll start to see more of an increase in our temperatures, still maintain to be in the range into those lower 90s. If my 7-day wants to pop up for me, looks like it doesn't. I promise you, still sticking around with those range of those lower temperatures with more rain chances on the way next week.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. We have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Julia Quady with a look at the roadways. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning.
I feel like my dress gives Bridgerton vibes today.
Yeah. I can see that.
In my head. But now, getting you out on those roadways, traffic flow is looking to be pretty good across most areas here in the Coastal Bend, thankfully. Let's go ahead and take a look at our view from our SPID Skycam, where a lot more folks are hitting those roadways, getting their Friday morning commute started here. So things are still pretty busy, but not, of course, translating towards congestion, thankfully. So even though you might see more of your neighbors out on the roads heading on SPID, that doesn't mean you're going to be in for some slowdowns at the moment. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of our traffic flow maps so you can expect on other roadways throughout the area. Heading on Ocean Drive, as we saw it on SPID as well, all things are moving pretty well and smoothly. Same thing heading on to Saratoga. Moving on over towards Flower Bluff, slightly different story. You can see a bit of a mixture of more median speed happening in both directions on Walser Road and on Flower Bluff Drive, and as you approach and leave the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. But heading on to the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island, looking at pretty smooth green roadways there, indicating that things are moving pretty well on the JFK Causeway at the moment. That's it for your traffic report. With details of your forecast coming up.
Parents, sending your child to private school could feel financially out of reach, but the Education Savings Account could help. I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter on the South Side. I'll show you how this new program is opening doors and shaping kids' futures. Alejandra Gonzalez is a private school mom of 3.
My kids have attended Most Precious Blood since they were in pre-K 3.
But any parent knows that cost can add up quick.
Sometimes it's a struggle. It is an investment. That's the way I see it in my children. It's an investment for life.
That's why she's applying for the Education Savings Account. It helps pay for a child's private school tuition and other needs.
We'll help pay for supplies, uniforms, if they need tutoring, as well as lunch or breakfast options. And so that is a big help on parents' wallet.
To at least take a look at this program, because that's one of the most important choices a parent can make, is where will my child be educated and where do their values align with mine.
The ESA is around $1,250 per student, up to $2,000 for homeschool students, and up to $30,000 for kids with different learning needs.
and that would help them not only pay for their tuition, but whatever specialized therapies or programming that child may need in a private school setting.
Here's how it works. All the information can be found on esacc.org. The application portal will go live sometime next year and will be open for 30 days. If one child is approved, all your children are approved, and you don't have to reapply year after year.
Whatever the family does not use in the current school year, they can carry it over to the following year. High school tuition tends to be a little bit higher. They can reserve those funds and then have additional money available to them at the high school level.
The money stays in the portal, the place you're able to pay for what you need. Parents with children already at the school can apply, but Most Precious Blood wants to extend the offer as well to others to check out the schools and see what a faith-based education is all about.
We're looking at each child as an individual, a child of God, and trying to pull out all of those gifts that He has given them, and again, to help them grow into whatever His plan is for each child.
Catholic school, it is a life-changing experience.
Be sure to keep checking that website I mentioned earlier. New info is added all the time, including when that application portal will go live. You can even sign up for the monthly newsletter. On the South Side, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 Sunrise.
So much, Michaela. And parents out there, for more information on her story, you can always head on over to christv.com. Now to the price of living here in Corpus Christi. It's going up.
To an audit uncovering questionable spending habits, we have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
We raised wastewater today. We raised water rates today. There were so many things raised. We are nickel and diming them to death.
The cost to live in Corpus Christi is going up. Here's what it means to your wallet. Water rates are going up by nearly $5 a month. Wastewater up more than $4. And county property taxes are climbing by 7.5%. For an average household, that's about $9 more a month in utility bills and close to $250 more a year once you factor in higher city and county property taxes.
Humvees, ATVs, engines, and more. These are purchases made by Nueces County Emergency District 4. I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Adam Beam, looking at those purchases at the center of a new forensic audit.
The independent audit examined the district's purchases over a 4-year period, finding multiple violations of federal rules and significant gaps in oversight and asset management. The audit also found multiple pieces of equipment, including engines and refrigeration units, are nowhere to be found. While purchases of items like four-wheelers and ATVs were done so without current officials having any knowledge of such transactions.
We want to make sure that moving forward that we are doing everything that the community entrusts us to do, and that's provide services to their district and to handle their funding appropriately.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter here aboard NAS Corpus Christi. Service members and first responders gathered to remember the nearly 3,000 lives lost on September 11th, 2001. Where were you that day?
Oh, actually, I was in high school. I was walking literally through the halls. That day, TVs were on.
We saw the news that an airplane hit the tower, and you're like, okay, so an airplane hit the tower, but as soon as I saw that it was a second airplane hit, I knew that we were under attack.
And I remember my wife trying to wake me up because we had an early day, and my wife was coming to the bed watching either the Today Show or Good Morning America, and she was like, hey babe, something's happening in New York City.
They displayed a rare piece of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers. They say never forgetting the lives and gratitude for those who gave their life for others is key. Those who gathered at the event tell me the event is a good reminder for the community to never forget and to honor the sacrifices made that day. Aboard NAS Corpus Christi, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, good morning, happy Friday. Taking a look right now from our SPID Skycam. We can see those showers that made their way now over to us here in Corpus Christi. As we can see on our Skycam, got those raindrops happening on our Skycam lens. You can see those roadways have now gotten a bit soggy. So of course this was anticipated during the morning commute that we still would see some more shower activity slowly making its way across our coastal waters, making its way into some of our neighborhoods early this morning too. We got a bit of a bird action there too happening. But focusing on those roadways, you can see the pavement's wet, of course, from that shower activity. Now, in terms of Doppler radar, we can see behind me right now, those showers are not widespread at all. They are very small, stray in nature, but some of those small showers may pack a small bit of a punch of having a bit small notes of maybe yellow or orange, of course indicating some moderate rainfall there. So you can see that action right now happening throughout portions of SPID. Now we have plenty of moisture right now in place, so of course it's going to be taken into account as we take a look at our dew point values. All of us across the coastal bend sitting well into those 70s. Of course, that means that we're in that oppressive zone, and we got a lot of moisture in place supporting our rain chances that are happening right now. Although, again, they are stray in nature at the moment. That's also going to be taken note of as we take a look at our temperatures and feel like temperatures. All of us are going to be well into those 70s, maybe even upper 70s to lower 80s for our current temperatures, waking up and getting our Friday morning started. Also, that's going to be tied towards our moisture increase. Of course, it's going to be, again, tied towards our rain chances. So all this is really connected in our forecast today. Looking at our hour-by-hour forecast, going to notice that we have rain chances that will stick around all throughout the morning, even heading towards the early part of this afternoon. It's going to cause a bit of a struggle with our temperatures slowly increasing and getting warmer over the next few hours, only reaching towards those lower 80s by around 11 o'clock in the morning, heading towards lunchtime, only approaching those mid 80s to upper 80s for our temperatures by that time. And then eventually we'll have some more sunshine starting to peek on through as drier air starts to push its way into our forecast. That's all going to be coming in thanks towards high pressure. That's going to make a bit of an easterly shift. Of course, as we all know, high pressure supports a lot of sunshine, drier weather, and that's going to take away our rain chances later on today, leading towards more of an increase in our temperatures, eventually reaching into those lower 90s. And then that means for this upcoming weekend that dry weather patterns are going to continue, meaning any of your weekend plans will be looking pretty good for any outdoor activities. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Again, temperature still maintaining into those lower 90s near average. Then we'll have a return of those rain chances coming in early next week.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
So a manhunt is still underway for the shooter who killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk at an event in Utah Wednesday. The FBI and Utah Public Safety released photos of a person of interest who has been described as appearing to be of college age. The FBI also released video of the shooter running away from the scene late. So authorities have recovered the firearm that they believed was used in the shooting in a nearby wooded area. A footprint was already recovered too. The FBI office is asking the public to submit any tips by calling up 1-800-CALL-FBI.
A plane carrying more than 300 South Korean workers detained in the U.S. is landing in South Korea today. The detainees released by the U.S. were mostly Korean, but also included 10 Chinese nationals, 3 Japanese nationals, and 1 Indonesian. The workers are from last week's immigration raid at a Hyundai battery factory in Georgia. South Korea's president is calling on the White House to improve the United States visa system.
So NASA has banned Chinese citizens with U.S. visas from participating in agency programs. The move marks a dramatic escalation in a new space race between China and the U.S. It also comes as China is gearing up to send a crewed mission to the moon by 2030. The new policy began last Friday. It affects hundreds of scientists and researchers, many of whom are funded by NASA to conduct their work. It's not clear if there was a specific incident that prompted this crackdown, though.
House GOP leaders are preparing to vote next week on a stopgap spending bill. GOP leaders want to keep the government open through November 20th. The White House is pushing for a longer extension into January. The September 30th deadline is complicated by a House recess for the Jewish holidays, and that leaves little time to avoid a shutdown.
Well, Apple's newest iPhone is available to order starting up today. Apple unveiled the iPhone 17 during an event on Tuesday. It features a slimmer design and slightly brighter screen than an iPhone 16. Pricing starts at $800 for the most basic model and goes up to $1,200.
And the American Association of University Women is hosting a book sale this weekend. It will take place at the Nayland Library that's located at 2030 Carmel Road. Hours are Friday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Some of the books featured during the sale are children's books, books on Texas history, and more. Proceeds from the book sale will fund scholarships for Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Del Mar College students.
All right, it is the most wonderful time of the year for tracking airfare, that is. So if you fly home for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, consumer reporter John Matarese found now is actually the time to start planning so you don't waste your money.
We're all all busy, and the holidays may be the last thing on your mind right about now. But this is the best time to set fare alerts for holiday flights. That way, if and when fares drop, you'll be ready. Travelers heading out on fall flights say the cheaper post-pandemic fares seem to be disappearing.
I can't remember the last time I found a trip for under $200.
I booked a ton of flights and airfares are out of control right now. Even like short 1 hour trips are like, $500, $600.
Getting the best deal on a holiday flight means not booking too early or too late, according to Clint Henderson, travel expert with the rewards and travel site, The Points Guy. He recommends booking Thanksgiving flights by the end of September and December holiday flights before Halloween.
Once we get to Halloween, prices will go up astronomically every day from then on.
Right now, airfare around the holidays is up 6 to 7% compared to last year. But Henderson says prices will fall between now and October.
You get a lot of people who are early birds who are already booking, and so prices are artificially inflated.
For the biggest savings, set price alerts with your favorite fare tracker. Book when you see prices drop. Be flexible with your dates and rebook later if prices drop, though that's a tactic that won't work with basic economy fares. We also wanted to know, is it worth asking an AI chatbot like ChatGPT for help? According to Henderson,
it's just not there yet. However, I always say use every tool in the toolbox.
Leo Stenger is booking holiday flights for his family now to avoid stress later.
Always book 3 months early, if possible. They say if they go down, you're better off, but I never take the chance.
So start looking now and set fare alerts on Google, Kayak, or similar tracking sites so you don't waste your money. John Matteries, Scripps News Group.
Now here's a look at what's trending. The Nashville Fair is underway. This year the event features an artist who paints portraits of animals. Each portrait takes only 1 hour to paint. Artist Julia Tong says she tries to catch the most authentic side of each animal. She says her goal at the fair is to foster a love of art in anyone who passes by. Pretty cool. That's some good artwork there.
Yeah. I've never been to the county fair. I hear that the county fairs, up here in like northern Texas, like Austin, are fantastic.
I've heard too. I heard that that the
Dallas one is coming up.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everything's fried, right?
Yeah, deep fried or a thing.
Margaritas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Ice cream.
Try that.
Yes, we
Deep
have.
fried margaritas. How do you think they do that? Like, what's fried about it?
I don't know. We gotta look it up.
Good question.
We did try looking it up actually, but then it gave us margarita pizza.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's good too.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, hey, will it be margarita weather this weekend? Because, I'm feeling one of those.
Oh, are you? Okay. I think we'll have perfect weather for that then. You'll have plenty of time to have some outdoor activities as well. We'll have lots of sunshine in the forecast coming up as we have high pressure that's going to take over, shift its way further on eastward today. So that's going to lead towards the end of our rain chances, making for more sunshine and dry weather ahead for us this weekend. Waking up this morning though, soggy weather is starting to build throughout the morning. Got some more passing stray to isolated showers making their way through the coastal bend. We saw on our sky cam not too long ago that SPID was getting a little bit of a dousing of some rainfall. So again, those showers are making their way across the coastal waters, pushing their way to at least throughout coastal San Patricio, Nueces, and Claiborne counties. Nueces getting the most at those stray shower action at this moment. But again, nothing truly impressive from our rain chances for now. Hopefully they can increase over the next few hours. But either way, coastal neighborhoods will have the best chance of seeing shower activity all throughout the morning. And maybe some of our inland and northern neighborhoods will get in on that action later on this afternoon. But all of us will see a decrease in our rainfall opportunities as we head towards around the 3, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock hour and thereafter. And we're not going to expect any rainfall really happening in the forecast around that time frame because that's going to be when that high pressure is going to start to shift its way eastward, giving us more drier air, taking away that moisture that's currently in place that's supporting our rain chances right now. But let's go ahead and apply this information towards our dog walking forecast. But first, introducing our star for today, we got Itzy here. Itzy can course, anticipate a bit of a soggy dog walk early this morning, especially if she lives anywhere near areas that are a bit more coastal this morning. Rain chances will be supported all throughout the morning and heading towards the early afternoon. And that's also going to cause a bit of a lag in our temperatures, slowly increasing and warming up throughout the day, eventually reaching into those lower 80s by 10 and 11 o'clock this morning, then heading towards those mid 80s around lunchtime. Either way, we'll still be expecting a high temperature into those lower 90s, still maintaining that trend of near average temperatures through the afternoon hours. We'll see some sun sunshine that'll really start to peek its way on through later into the afternoon after our rain chances start to wrap on up as that drier air begins to take over from that support high pressure that's going to make its track, of course, going towards the east. That's going to cover us up all across South Texas. We'll still have a bit of that support with southeasterly winds, but with high pressure baking us right over top of us here in the coastal bend. Again, that's going to end our rain chances later on today, leading towards more sunshine and warmer temperatures ahead for us this weekend. Not too much warmer, though. Like I mentioned, we'll still be sitting towards those near average high temperatures into those lower 90s for us tomorrow on your Saturday and continue on your Sunday. Rain chances will enter back up into our forecast looking ahead to early next week. Right now, not anticipating anything truly significant, but stray, I should say, to even isolated showers will be coming back to the forecast early next week around late on your Monday, carrying on over towards your Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, rain chances are in the forecast for now this morning, ending later on this afternoon. Dry weather all this weekend with rain chances returning early next week to wrap it up nicely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julia. Appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in, folks. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Remember, if you can be anything, be kind. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Have a good one.